Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take. Protect your family or business. How they can all benefit from current events. Most of all, let's thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Joe Palacio is in the house. Network Partner Insurance Services. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
You have to get a big business card for that one, don't you?
NPIS.
Okay, NPIS. Okay, I can almost handle that one. Let's see what else. What do we got? We got a lot going on today, so we better just remind you if you ever have any home or finance related questions. I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call, that number comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Hey, don't forget, Anaheim Confidential. It is tomorrow night. If you don't remember about it, we did have the Anaheim police officers on our broadcast. I think it was last week or the week before. We were talking about Anaheim Confidential. So it is a fundraiser. Make sure and bring your checkbook or your credit cards, because the idea of this, I know some people don't, they think that, hey, you go to a fundraiser and you have a good time. Well, the idea here is go to there, have a good time, and also bring your checkbook, because Anaheim Confidential, it is an eat, drink, enjoy. It's a murder mystery put on by the Anaheim Police Department. It's at the River Arena in Anaheim. Thanks for sending that note over to me. 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Go online, get the tickets. I will ask them to put I know we had it on Ron Siegel Radio, so maybe we can get somebody to post that on our radio show page today again. But Ron Siegel Radio, you can get that information on Anaheim Confidential, a murder mystery. I don't know about the police department promoting something that's a murder mystery, but hey, you know something, it is what it is. And I know I had those guys here, but I must have lost them. I'm pretty slow here on the uptake. It must be the day after Thanksgiving. Well, no, it's Halloween. I don't even know that one. I must have had too much to drink. Maybe it was... No, I don't do that one. That's sorry, guys. That's not me. We'll continue moving right along. Today is the first day of November. I am certainly hoping that the bride is not listening right now, because it is National Men Make Dinner Day. That's the first Thursday in November. Men Make Dinner Day. So I think we'll be making reservations today. That might be my idea. Joe, it sounds like you're a good cook too. Okay, so I also look at it's National Brush Day. Well, those of you watching on RonSiegelRadio.tv, you notice that I have no need there. National Deep Fried Clams Day. I can go for that one. Cook for Your Pets Day. I'm not even going to go. Calzone Day. Wonder if our friends over at Wise Guys has anything going on for National Calzone Day. Having beaten anorexia, I think we'll look at that one. It's probably better than Men Cook Dinner Day. Hey, checking the markets for you this morning. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, it is up 218 points as we speak right now. Oil down $2.07 a barrel. In Taxifornia, I don't think we're going to get any relief from the taxes there, but we'll see what happens. The U.S. 10-year Treasury, 3.142. What's causing the market to jump? Well, it's amazing how Twitter can influence the stock market. Not my Twitter feed, not your Twitter feed. But if you're the President of the United States and you come out and say, you know something, I just got off the phone with the leader of China, Xi Jinping, and we had a very good conversation and we're moving right along. We can probably solve the tariff problem. Watch how the stock market takes about a 150-point jump. Yeah, I guess it's a Twitter feed. Now, did you hear that on MSNBC? Hee-haw? They probably did not report that this morning. Did you hear that on the Cannabis News Network? Yeah, they probably didn't tell you that either. Stop that, you guys. Okay, so we're going to continue moving right along. That probably is the cause of the market taking a big jump. You get some good working relationship between the U.S. and China. Dow goes up, oil goes down, the U.S. 10-year Treasury doing well. And finally, some of our young people don't ever know that you can actually put money into a savings account and get interest on it. They've probably never been around for that because, what has it been, about 10 or 12 years since we've had anything where you can get interest on money that's in your savings account. Well, the U.S. 10-year Treasury right now, 3.144. It is at an inflection point, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that during the Mortgage Minute. But here's the issue. You can actually get some money there. They've got a little bit of support down at 3.11. It wouldn't surprise me to see us go to 3.2. But if we pass through 3.25 on that U.S. 10-year Treasury, well, it's Katie bar the door. That could go up significantly. And that would not be good news for the 30-year Fannie Mae mortgage. That would be a problem there. Right now, the mortgage bonds are doing fairly well. I am telling everybody, and I'm not talking to you, but I'm telling most people, the reason I'm not talking to you is because I can't give you individual advice while we're on radio. But I am talking to our clients right now and our team. Hey, you know something? Lock those interest rates in today ahead of the big BLS number tomorrow. Now, are we going to have a good jobs report? Probably. We saw the ADP number came out. That was very strong yesterday. And BLS does follow that a little bit. So why am I saying that we want to do that now? Well, I don't like a lot of risk. Right? There are certain areas where we take risk. There are certain areas where we avoid risk. When it comes to your home and financing your home, that's the last place we want to see any kind of risk. So lock that in ahead of the report. We've got a lot going on with that report, and we're going to have to be very, very careful of a lot of these issues. The things that are going on is how much further can unemployment go down? Last reading, I think it was at 3.7%. So when you look at a 3.7, you start saying, okay, that's basically anything under 5 they call full employment. Now we've got to start doing some things that will give an incentive to people to getting off of their rear end, getting off of the government handouts and doing something. Now, look at this. The irony is that we consistently have a lot of people in our country that want government handouts. Ironic enough, though, there's the people in the big topic right now is people that want to come to our country that do not want handouts. They actually want to go to work. They want to get some money. They're willing to work hard for their money. Isn't that ironic? You see thousands of people in this caravan saying we want to come to the United States for a better life, yet we've got thousands of people, a huge percentage of our population, who are sitting there on the sidelines saying, you know something, I don't want to participate in this economy. Fascinating story to me. I like watching that. It's just a very interesting set of statistics, and we'll be watching that tomorrow. So the bottom line there is make sure that if you got a mortgage, you get it locked ahead of these numbers so we can see what they come in at. We're going to be watching for you, and you know that I'm a big fan of the U6 number. Most people want to talk about U3. That's the main number that you hear about for unemployment. And U3 basically tells you, yeah, if you worked for 1 hour for pay in the prior month, you've got a job. And I don't like that idea. That's not where we really want to be. We need to be looking at U6 so we can see which people are unemployed or underemployed. Both numbers, that goes into the U6 number. And we look at the labor participation rate. That's the other number that we're always wanting to look at, is labor participation. How many people are actually getting involved in our economy? So those are some big numbers. They're coming out tomorrow. I did notice something, and I'm sure anybody that is following 2019, if you are thinking that you may want to retire anytime in the next 30, 40, 50 years, here's a number that you might want to be aware of. The 401k annual cap being raised to $19,000. Now, I'm going to suggest, I've told you many times, there are better places to put your money than a 401k, but if you don't have the discipline, I guess is the right word, if you don't have the discipline to put the money over there, you might want to look at that concept. And the IRA contribution also is being, the limit is lifted. For the first time in 6 years, it's going up to $6,000 from $5,500. And yes, if you are over 55, there are some catch-up plans, not Heinz ketchup, but you can catch up on some of the plans. And again, I am not the expert on these issues. I know enough about them to say, you know something? Call the financial gurus. They are the ones. If you don't have a financial planner, you need a great financial planner, just give me a call at 800-306-1990. I do know some of them that I would recommend you chat with. Get a personal plan. They are not one size fits all. And we're also going to be chatting here this morning about, if you're already in that senior area, are you able to change your Medicare situation? I shared out earlier, I tweeted out, and I don't have a million followers like the president does, but I did send out some information asking what part is best for you. Now, I don't even understand all this stuff, but we're going to get a good education this morning on what part of Medicare might be good for you. Do you want all of it? I don't know. We'll talk about it. And how will home sales measure up next year? How often does your credit report change? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. In the Mortgage Minute today, being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you. You just need to give me a call and get that Fast Pass loan approval. Taking a look this morning, I did notice, I don't know if you saw our earlier postings, interest rates are down this week. Well, not enough to make a difference, but they're down this week. The Freddie Mac number came out, as it does every week, 7 o'clock our time, and it's 4.83%. That is the perfect interest rate. You have to pay a half a point to get it, and it is down from 4.86 last week. But are you ready for this one? It was 3.94 same time last year. Ow! Yeah, people kept talking to me and saying, Ron, you keep telling us interest rates are going up. And I said, yeah, you're right. They are going to go up. Well, they're up almost 1 full percent from last year this time, same week last year. So think about that one. If you have not made a move, well, maybe it's time for you to look and say, do we want to lock in that adjustable rate mortgage that we've been looking at? Do we want to consolidate a little bit of debt that we've had? Well, why are we looking at all of those things? Well, we look at them all the time to see what's going on. The U.S. 10-year Treasury, the yield on that down 1 basis point at 3.144. And we're looking at the Fannie Mae 30-year. That is dead flat for the day. No big deal right there. What else are we looking at when we look at the markets today? Well, obviously, the BLS number for tomorrow is top of mind, but we also look at the jobless claim numbers. Show that there were 214,000 claims last week, a decrease of 2,000 from the previous week, which was revised slightly higher by 1,000 to 216,000. Nothing really that new here. The only thing that's interesting is that we are still very, very low on initial jobless claims. So that's a good thing for the economy, saying, hey, you know something? There's not a lot of people getting laid off. A lot of people going back to work. That should give us a little bit of wage pressure. We should start seeing an increase. We don't need this Measure L where the government gets involved, but if you're following Anaheim politics. But the idea here is naturally we're going to start seeing some interest rates some wages increasing because people are going to be able to jump ship and go to a new job just because they can, because there's such a tight market for the individuals out there. That is the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. So we are right in the last couple of months of the year. One of the big things that we talk about the last couple of months every year, no, not DUIs. We'll talk about that later in the year. But we're going to talk about our seniors and Medicare.
Yes.
Joe Palacio is here, Network Partners Insurance Services, NPIS for short, not NCIS. That's a different group. But NPIS. So Joe, is there anything at all that's new this year?
Yeah, there's a couple things, Ron. One of them is that one of the things that happened to seniors during the during the year when they start January 1, when they start their new plan or the plan they've been on, the Medicare Advantage plan, HMO, is the donut hole. And the donut hole is not where the senior wants to fall into, because that means that their medications will start costing a lot of money at the pharmacy, sticker shock, sometimes as early as April, May, June, July, or August. There is a new plan out there, and I can't say the name for compliance purposes, but they are actually covering Tier 3 medications, which are the branded medications, the ones that are real expensive, through the year and through the donut hole, so you're not having, the senior's not having to fall into that donut hole and having to pay a lot of money out of pocket at the pharmacy. So
that sounds like it's going to probably, anytime we hear of an insurance company that's coming out with a product that's better, we always have to start thinking about it's going to probably cost us a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, the plan won't cost. They're actually helping the seniors through that one plan that's doing this.
Okay.
We'll put them, and then
now that we don't know that for sure that plan is going to be right for most people.
Correct.
Right. I mean, so the bottom line is that we want you to be aware of when Joe's sharing this information, is that we want you to know that there are options out there, and that's why I shared the tease this morning on our social media, how to know what part is best for you. Because, my wife and I, we're not old enough for this yet, but if we were, we may not be, the same plan may not be suitable for each of us.
Correct.
Right?
And the reason for that is you may have 3 or 4 or 5 drug medications that you're taking, and your wife may.
Does Kettle One count as one of them?
Yeah.
That's not covered? Okay, I just thought I'd throw that in there.
BID, twice a day, 3 times a day, or once a day, depending on your needs. But your wife may have a different set of medications, and so we can't say as brokers that this is the best plan. It is the best fit for your particular situation, and it's always good to talk to a broker, an independent broker, not to say the captive agents are not competent, but an independent broker, because I'm certified with multiple companies, so I can really fine tune what's the best fit for your particular situation.
If I'm hearing this correctly, I regularly share with everyone that if you go to the big bank on the corner and you ask them, if you ask the Stagecoach what the rates are at the Flag today, right? They don't know, right? Because they only have one product to offer.
Correct.
So you're saying basically it's the same scenario, is if I go over to the farmer's market, right, they're not going to tell me what, and I don't even know the players, but they're not going to tell me what Big Blue has.
Correct.
Right? So, and if I go to somebody like you can be my personal shopper.
Correct.
Okay,
yep.
So same concept. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a big benefit for you, making sure you speak to somebody like Joe, who can, unless you've got an awful lot of time on your hands and you want to go and you have nothing better to do than to go and start shopping at every one of these institutions, and then you're still probably not going to know enough.
You're not. You get information overload, and you think you have it, and then, I have customers that call me and say, I thought I had it figured out, now I'm more confused than I was when I started.
So let me throw this at you, and I don't think I've even asked you this on a broadcast before, so it's always fun when you just kind of throw something at somebody unannounced. So do you have a process, you being the average insurance broker, a Medicare broker, where you have to go to some sort of a formalized education every year to get to find out what's new and the latest and greatest?
Great question. So we as brokers have to take AHIP, which is the compliance. Medicare, Centers for Medicare Services, all brokers have to go through AHIP, which is compliance. What's new?
Okay, before you go too far with that, you said all brokers do. Do the people that are work for just one company, do they have to go as well?
They have to do the same.
Okay, because I know in mortgage, as a outside mortgage broker or an outside mortgage salesperson or loan originator, the loan originators have to go and get recertified every year. But if you work for a big bank, you don't have to.
No, we have.
Either way, you have to.
We do have to take the HIP test, study it, and then take the test and pass it, and then I have to certify with all the companies I'm with, to learn their products. What's new for 2019? And so I go through that training and that testing. So I do 6 to 8 different companies to get ready for the next year. Yeah, it's they keep us on our toes, which is a good thing for our consumers. So we can learn, what's coming up for the next year for them.
And that's very important, right? Because again, that goes to the same scenario that we were just talking about. Now, how many hours do you have to do that for? How many hours a year, roughly? I mean, I don't want to...
That's okay. I would say I need about 20 hours total.
20 hours total. So
from with AHIP and then training for the new products and what they have, the benefits.
Now, could I imagine somebody like me having to go through and do that, spending 20 hours, basically a half a work week, to get educated? And I'm assuming that once I do get educated, I'm still not going to know as much as you, because yours is cumulative.
Yes.
Right? You've been doing it year after year after year.
That's a great point.
So 20 hours on top of 20 hours last year and 20 hours the year before, and helping 1,000 clients or however many you have to check on scenarios, allows you to go and review my needs in a fraction of the time as what I could do it myself.
Yes.
And you're probably asking yourselves, okay, but I don't want to pay Joe. So we're going to talk about how much does it cost to get these services. And I think you're going to be very, very surprised, but you're going to have to stay tuned and listen in for that one. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, how will home sales measure up next year? How often does your credit report change? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And good morning, Arn. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Linda. Glad you're with us. Christopher, Andy, Harry, Janae, Mindy's with us. Uh-oh, I might be in trouble there. Rob, Joseph, glad to see all of you with us. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
In the middle of our street.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. How will home sales measure up next year? There are many questions about where home sales are headed next year. We have gathered the most reliable sources to help answer this question. Here are our sources. Say that one quickly. Mortgage Bankers Association is the leading advocate for the real estate finance industry. The MBA enables members to successfully deliver sustainable and responsible real estate financing within ever-changing business environments. The National Association of Realtors, NAR, the largest association of real estate professionals in the world. Freddie Mac, an organization which provides liquidity, stability, and affordability to the U.S. housing market in all economic conditions, extending to all communities from coast to coast. Fannie Mae, a leading source of financing for mortgage lenders, providing access to affordable mortgage financing in all markets. Here are their projections. The MBA, well, they're looking at home sales going up again. NAR, 6,200. Freddie Mac, 6,180. Fannie Mae, 6,092 is the projection. So in every instance, they're looking at growth over the last 2 years as their projection. Every source sees home sales growing next year. What about you? Are you planning on selling? Are you planning on moving to a new home? Have you looked at your existing home to see how much equity you have? Because I know that I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I don't have any equity, I can't move, I can't do anything. And the fact of it is, the vast majority of America has significant equity. We define significant as more than 20%. Think about that. Have you looked at it lately? Give us a call at 800-306-1990. We can help you out with that. Again, our friends, that's brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. So we've been talking this morning. Joe Palacio is in the house, Network Partners Insurance Services. Now, one thing that doesn't come across in the name of Joe's company is he is the guru in the Medicare world. So we like to chat with Joe about that on a regular basis. Joe, one of the things I find most frequently, seniors are much more cognizant than the average about expenses, right? Because so many of them by definition are on some sort of a fixed income or a limited income. They're not in the wealth growth stage of their life.
Correct.
Or wealth accumulation stage for the most part. Mm-hmm. So you hear and you say, okay, well, I've got this thing called Google.com and it's totally free. And I can go to Bing and it's free. And I don't know if I'm getting accurate information there, but I think I am because if it's on the internet, it's got to be. I can go down and talk to my neighbor down the street and he knows everything about everything. Just ask him, right? And so I can get all this guidance and it doesn't cost me anything.
Right.
And that's probably true, right? I mean, everything I've said so far, you can go to Google and Bing and your neighbor, and most of them don't charge. Now, if I call you and ask you, and most of them don't go to the AHIP compliance training, right? I mean, the people over at Google, maybe some nice people, but they probably don't go to compliance training. And the people at Bing probably don't go to compliance training. And your neighbor probably doesn't go to compliance training. You do.
I do.
And you go and get educated, and you talk to thousands of people, right? And heck, we're talking to thousands of people right now. Right. So you have experience.
Correct.
So what's it going to cost if I come and visit you?
Great question. Whether you call me or you come into my office, it doesn't cost anything for the
Wait.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost
It
anything.
does not cost anything. I'm not going to send you an invoice. I'm not going to, start the timer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to charge you every 6 minutes for the consultation. It is free.
But Joe, you got to feed your family.
Yeah. So Medicare, Center for Medicare Services doesn't allow us brokers to do charge a consultation fee. How we get paid is we get paid a flat fee when I find the right company for my senior, my customer, and I submit that application. The company thanks me for finding my customer for them. So that's how I get paid. I get paid by the insurance companies.
Okay, and most of us are of the belief, either right or wrong, that insurance companies make a lot of money anyway. Right? I mean, and they're in business to make money.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal. So for them to compensate you for going out and doing a job and helping people, fair. And it's a fair question, I think, because most people say, something? I want to know, number one, that Joe's making money, because otherwise he's not going to be here next year. Right? You're going to go in and start selling cars or houses or something else, right? You've got to feed the family. I mean, I didn't notice. I looked, and I didn't see your name come up when I saw whoever won that $1.6 billion lottery.
Oh, I'm right here, Ron.
Yeah. Still working, right? So the issue there, what we were just looking at going, is it's not going to cost you to get great advice.
No, and that's the key. When I get a phone call, that's one of the questions. After 2 or 3 minutes talking to me, they stop me and say, Joe, what's this going to cost me? And it doesn't cost them anything.
So I don't understand, Joe. Why doesn't everybody call a professional then?
I guess the thought process is they're going to get charged.
The misconception that's going to be a fee.
It's going to be a fee,
and we're going to hit you, and we can't and that's just it is what it is. It's a misconception.
Yep.
So why aren't you making the phone call right now? Why aren't you telling your mother and your grandmother to call Joe and talk to him? 800-306-1990. I'm not doing an infomercial. I don't get paid by Joe. The way I get compensated, I'll tell you exactly how I get paid or how I get compensated for something like this. If your mother does not have a problem, then I get personal satisfaction. So when I ask Joe, how do you get compensated? People want to know from me the same thing. How do you make money, Ron? I don't make money by having you come on here. The idea here, and Joe doesn't pay to come on here either, so that's both ways, right? The idea is we've got a passion for helping people. And if you've got that passion, I'm a big believer in karma, right? What goes around comes around. What you put out, you get. So the idea here is call Joe and just get the information. You're going to, and obviously, once you get the great information, don't go on Google to sign up after you take his time, right? Just my personal opinion right there. Now, Joe, here's the other thing that I wonder about, especially as we get older and older. And again, I'm fairly transparent in what I do. Last year, at this time of year, maybe a week earlier, we were having a good time in my family. And all of a sudden we get noticed that my mom had melanoma. And by the 10th of November, she had part of her foot amputated. And we had no clue when we were going through this process that, her needs are going to change, right? We didn't know whether it was going to be a successful operation, an unsuccessful operation. And come the middle of February, where she went from having a very minimal need for any kind of Medicare assistance, or whatever the parts were, to very, very significant needs. What happens when that happens to somebody? Can they switch plans?
They can switch plans, of course, during annual enrollment period, which we're in now.
Right.
Then if for some reason they're out of that annual enrollment period, say it's April, May, June, July, if they go into the hospital and they get transitioned to a skilled nursing facility, which is also called a SNF, for short, and that's called a special election period. They can actually review their plan and change it if they'd like, because the government says if that situation happens, they can't make a change during the year.
Okay, so
which is really cool, because that way you can try to, because your medications may change drastically, and so now you can go to they can call me and, hey Joe, my mom's leaving the hospital, going to a SNF. what are our options, and we can review the plan and see what medications are on, and they can make a plan change. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, and that's a big issue right there, and that's another thing that why I am a big proponent of guidance, right? So let's think about this. Now, I did look up SNF, and it does come up saying skilled nursing facility. I was thinking that if I go to Google and I put that in there, it was going to talk about cold medicine or something like that, right? I mean, because we don't know but you know something, I would venture to guess not too many people have any clue about that option. Or if I walk down the street, or if I go into Starbucks across the street and say, hey, do you know what SNF is? They're not going to know.
No.
If I go to my neighbor, they're not going to. So the idea of having somebody like Joe as part of your household board of directors, that's a big issue, right? So let me see if I can so you can do that. Now, what if I just figure I did my plan wrong? Can I make a change?
Yeah, so this year, this is the first time that I know of that annual enrollment period, you sign up between October 15th to December 7th for a January 1, 2019 start date. And for some reason, whether you change the plan and then between January 1st and March 31st, you decided that it wasn't a good fit for you, you call your broker and you can do a one-do-over. You can actually either go back to the plan that you were on, the Medicare Advantage plan, HMO, or you can choose another plan. Maybe things have changed between then and you can do a one-do-over, which is neat because that way you're not tied in until the end of the year again.
Okay, so that's only available during the first quarter?
Yes.
Okay, so, and ironically enough, I think Linda just asked that question. If you're already scheduled in a Medicare plan, can it ever be changed?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you can change it every year.
Yes.
And then you get the mulligan time, the do-over period of in the first quarter.
Yeah. And I do also want to mention the Medicare supplement because we're talking about a Medicare Advantage plan, meaning the HMO or Part C.
Okay.
It's the same thing. The second option is, of course, the Medicare supplement, which is usually symbolized by an F or a G or an N, and then you get a standalone drug plan. That's the second option for Medicare beneficiaries. That gives them the most flexibility, meaning there's no referrals. They have direct access to specialists. They don't have to wait to be referred to a specialist. That one, what I've been getting a lot of calls on is their premiums go up over time.
Right.
About 3% on average. I'm working with somebody right now. They're paying over $300 a month for their Medicare supplement, and I'm looking at decreasing her monthly premium by almost $50, $60 by moving from one company to another without sacrificing the benefits. It's just the premium's different company.
So basically, one company is if I'm understanding it right, there's one company that's basically saying, I'm willing to have a beneficial program to acquire new subscribers.
Yeah. Same benefits, different company, but what happens is why premiums go up is the pool, there's a lot of medical claims. So the company has to increase people's premiums to make up for those medical claims. Well, this company, the other company I'm looking at, may not have a lot of claims in their pool, and so they're able to keep those premiums either flat, maybe increase a little, or maybe even go down a couple dollars. So that's another area where I work my magic, is right in this Medicare supplement world too.
Interesting. We're going to talk more about that medical supplement world, and we're going to also talk about how often is it going to cost me extra to change, or how often should I be sitting down with Joe? We're going to talk about that when we come back, and we're going to also get into how often does your credit report change. We'll talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. It's up to you to make sure you go and get signed up with them so you get the information. They can't do that for you. How often does your credit report change is the question this morning. So here's the issue. Emails usually come in the form of a slightly panicked plea, often from individuals who have just used a site and they've seen something that they didn't expect or think is wrong on their report. I get it all the time. The question becomes, how long will it take my credit report to be updated after I pay off a credit card, settle a collection account, get the IRS to remove a tax lien? Well, the writers of those emails will sometimes go on to explain that they are trying to get a mortgage, an auto loan, or some other type of loan because they are not regular listeners of Ron Siegel Radio, where I say look at your report at least once or twice a year. So how often does the credit report change? And like so many things in life, your credit report can change quickly. Well, right now it's about, about 9:53 in the morning. Well, I wait another 30 seconds and it just changed again. Because your credit score it's not static. It is, the numbers come out, as soon as somebody requests it, that's when those numbers are developed, and they use it based on the data that they're receiving on a regular basis. So if a credit card company reports once a month, which is what they do, well, then you're going to have to, as soon as they report, if they send in their tape or they upload their information at 10 in the morning, well, then at 10:01, that's when your score will have changed. And if somebody pulls your credit at 10:02, by 10:03, it'll have changed again. So your score is not stored in the system. It's calculated based on the algorithm from Fair Isaac if you're getting a true FICO score. So it is calculated by the algorithm from Fair Isaac as requested. So it's going to always be changing. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. So we've been chatting this morning with Joe Palacio, the name of the company, Network Partners Insurance Services. I'm not talking about all different kinds of insurance today. We are only talking about Medicare, the HMO, the supplements. So, Joe, you told me last segment, I think it was, that from October 15th to December 7th, we're in the election period for plans to change as of January 1.
Correct.
So, do I have to do something to have coverage next year, or will my last year's election roll over?
Good question. So a common question with my customers is, do I have to do anything? I will call them or send them an email and say, you're right where you're supposed to be for 2019. And they'll say, do I have to do anything? No, it's auto-enrolled. They'll get their new cards for 2019, their insurance card, and they're ready to go. They don't have to keep applying every year, which is
okay. So it's all done. Now, how often do I need to call you and say, hey, Joe, I just got a bad case of fill in the blank. How often do I have to call you and talk to you about these things?
If it's something major, say you're diagnosed with a cardiovascular disease or congestive heart failure or diabetes, you should call me, because that opens that special election period where we can possibly look at a different plan if you're on a medication that's not covered within your current plan throughout the year.
So I can change any time during the year if there is a special need?
Yes, if something happens and you've been diagnosed, or if you're admitted into the hospital and then into a SNF. So you're not always locked in for the rest of the year with your plan. Also, if you make a geographical change, if you go from Orange County to Riverside County or San Bernardino or LA County, that opens up a special election period.
Really?
So yes, and you can make a
just by moving. So if I have a big issue, I can move and I can get into a special election period.
Right.
Right?
If you have a home out in the desert, I'm not advocating that, Ron.
No, I'm just thinking, because we don't understand. Most of us just hear the idea that you've got this window of application in the last part of the year, and then we're stuck. But there are other reasons. So. As I recommend all the time, because this is one of my big hot spots, is having that household board of directors. We don't know what we don't know, so if we make the phone call, we can figure some of these things out.
Yep.
Right, and it doesn't cost me anything to make that call.
Give me a call and say, Joe, I moved down to San Diego. Can you help me? What do I do? So
it, and again, now you just made a good point there, Joe. So you're able to help. You're not geographically bound.
No, I am a life and health insurance broker licensed in California.
Okay,
California.
So anywhere that I want to go in California, as long as there's a phone or an internet service, I can reach out to you.
Yep.
And here's the issue: is nowadays everybody's got. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, right? We've all got these smartphones, and most of us can figure out how to push that button that says FaceTime.
Yep.
Right, so we can be face to face with you no matter where we are.
Yep.
Right, and because something people like to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. Right, and one of the things in that arena is something. I think I'll like somebody if I can see him and know who's on the other end of the line, as opposed to, especially our seniors, the young people. If I can text them, I'm happy. Right, I don't want to talk to them. I don't even want to see them. My kids, I call them and they text me back. Right? They don't want to see me. Right? But that's not the way with the senior community. They want to be able to see somebody. They've got that sense of security by seeing you or meeting with you. Right? I'm assuming that you meet with more clients than somebody that's dealing with millennials.
That's a great point. I would say 99.9% of the people, the seniors I work with, want to see me in the office. I do house calls.
Okay.
Probably 60-70% of the time.
And he's got that black bag that he carries around.
Yeah.
Dr. Joe.
Or if they want to come to my office and then I can meet them at the office. There's some rare, but there's some that say, you know what? Just send me the info. I'll fill it out. My broker number will be on there, so I'll get credit. But they'll do it online, which is fine. We can do that also electronically.
Yeah, whatever somebody's happy with. But the idea is that you're in my opinion, what the best part of what you're doing is that it's a full service, right?
Yes.
I can take advantage of your knowledge, which is what I really want.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm recommending for our seniors is, hey, you know something? Google is great. Do your homework. But what I'm going to recommend you do with Google and Bing and Facebook and your neighbor is take with you a yellow pad of paper, and it could be white or green or blue or whatever color you want it to be, and write down questions, right? And write down as many questions as you can come up with and get them answered from a professional. That's what Joe's doing, is that's how he's helping people, is he'll go over and give people that information, because that's what you do. So I'm better off coming into you with a list of questions than trying to figure out all the answers on my own.
Yes. It just takes so much stress and load off your shoulders when you're able to have someone explain it.
And I like that idea, one of the things, because one of the things that our seniors tell me all the time is they do get, there's so much information overload right now, that if they can pawn that off on an expert, on a guru, who's someone who's studying it, and again, by talking to so many people, you get a lot more experience.
Yes.
Right? My mom only had the experience of her policy. Right? You have the experience of thousands of policies, so you've seen a lot more.
Seen and heard.
Plenty of stories. And
Yeah.
Joe's book will be out in about 10 years. Just a thought for you. Hey, be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, or if you want to talk to Joe Palacio about your Medicare insurance or mom or grandma's Medicare insurance, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'd be happy to make that introduction for you. And remember, I close every broadcast with the same thing because I'm a big believer. Make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Something, I think I'll just call it a day. Pour me something tall and